Okay, and just a bit of a recap on the fermented foods. Pickles are doing awesome. They've been in the fridge. And the sauerkraut, I had a little bit left over from the last batch, and I still have not started the newest batch yet. I may end up giving a good chunk of this to my nephew. The beans that we just did last week or so, I decided that yes, I would cut them into 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inch little pieces and put them in a jar, and I tasted them and they're awesome. They're crispy, and that is the big difference between fermented and canning foods. Fermented foods are very crispy. My pickles always turn out crispy, my beans turn out crispy, and I don't like soggy beans and I don't like soggy pickles. My husband, I had him try the hot pepper today, and he says yes, it is just about ready, but one more day might, you know, he asked me, does the flavor get stronger if you leave it longer? And I said yes, it does. So he said yeah, leave it another day. So this is staying out on the counter while all of these are being stored in my refrigerator. Now you may have noticed that all except for one I have replaced with plastic caps. I went out and purchased some of these all leak-proof, which is new. I was looking for just, you know, the larger size of these white ones. I had the white ones, regular mouth, but this seems to be what is newly available for the wide mouth. And the reason you want to move it to plastic, and I probably should have done them in plastic to begin with, but I just didn't have them, is that the salt water can be corrosive, and the lids and rings on mason jars are not of the best quality material, and they will deteriorate. The salt will cause them to rust. So you don't want to put these in the fridge for any length of time with a metal, you know, the inexpensive lids that they use for canning. They're just not, you know, you just don't want to have to clean rust off the edge of your jars before you, excuse me. Yeah, you don't want to have to clean rust off the edge of your jars before you pull the food out. So anyway, that's my update on my fermented foods. And that's all that I will be doing for this year. As I said, once the hot peppers are ready, they too will be put in the fridge, and I'm sure that's going to last us for quite a while, considering it's just the two of us. So that's it for now. I actually found some alum, and I may try, if I can pull all the proper ingredients together, to actually pickle some dill pickles that I can put in storage, because these have to go in the refrigerator, and I can't put them in storage. So I would like to put some in storage, but they have to be crispy, otherwise I'll just throw them out. So anyway, I did find some alum, and I do have some dill growing in my garden, and I did put together, hang on a second. Yes, I bought all kinds of spices, and I put together my own pickling mixture. So I've got tons of this, probably enough to last me for the next 10 years, but that's okay. It's a pickling mixture that'll be ready. I had run out, and so yes, if I do manage to get the ingredients together to do some pickles, I may do that with the alum, and I may try beans with alum and see if they stay crisp. But as I said, the fermenting, I've got enough beans there to last me quite a while, so I don't care. And yeah, this is awesome. Just wanted to give you a quick update on this. And yes, perhaps I should discuss why fermenting is a benefit, and I may do that. But let me just put all these back in the fridge, and we'll get back to you later. Okay, and just to make things interesting, my little yogurt cups that I make constantly is also a fermented milk, except that I don't use salt to do this. I use, you can buy cultures to make yogurt, but I just used my last yogurt cup to start the fresh yogurt. The other thing that may be a little bit surprising to some is that your sourdough starter, which this baby needs to be fed, is also, and I keep just a small amount so I don't have to throw too much away, your sourdough bread is also a fermented product. So, very healthy for you. Different than canning. It is a different way of preserving food. They do last for different lengths of time. Obviously, canned goods are definitely shelf stable and last a whole lot longer than fermented foods. Fermented foods will keep in a cool place. Like if I had cold storage, I could keep that quite a bit longer as well. Not the yogurt or the sourdough starter, but things like the pickles and the sauerkraut. You can keep for months in the proper cool environment. Okay, that's my little update on fermented foods for the time being. Okay, well, I did say that I would try to come up with reasons why you should preserve food using the fermentation process. And one of the quickest ones I could suggest would be that it doesn't really require any special equipment. This is why I have it listed under my no canner required listing or heading. And yeah, all you need is, at the very basic level, there are certainly other ways to do fermentation than the way I do it, but at the very basic level, you need salt, water, and a container that, like a good glass container, and a good mason jar will do the job for you. And with making yogurt, which is also a fermentation process, you've likely seen my videos, and if you haven't, please do look at those videos on how I make yogurt in the simplest form possible, just using a cooler and a batch of yogurt, using a little bit from my last batch of yogurt. So I don't use any special starters, I don't use whey, I don't use, and you can use all those things. You can buy special equipment to do fermentation. You can buy the airlock systems for the jars. I did at one point, and I find them more of an inconvenience, like to do my sauerkraut and my pickles, which I do fairly often. I just use a mason jar lid and keep the lid loose and put the whole jar in a container that will catch the runoff liquid from the fermentation process, because it does, bubble up. You have to keep everything under water. You have to keep all the foods, the vegetables under liquid the whole time. So why ferment? Well, fermentation actually preserves food nutrients more so than canning does. So yeah, your traditional canner will preserve your food nutrients, but fermentation does that better. It also breaks down your food to a more digestible form. You find people who eat fermented foods find that they have less stomach issues, less digestive issues, because it introduces beneficial bacteria into the digestive system. That's part of the reason why I have yogurt every morning. It's only a small bit, and I add all kinds of things to it, whether it's pecans or jam or even chocolate chips. I will add something to the yogurt to make it tasty, but I have yogurt every morning, and doing so, I don't seem to have any stomach issues anymore. And they also say that It can contain up to 100 times more probiotics than a supplement. Now, I think I tried to take probiotics one time, and yeah, they work. You know, they're expensive, and it's a whole lot easier just to look after your tummy by the foods you eat. Okay, I think I mean, there are a whole bunch of other reasons. They say that it's also good for your immune system and good for mental health and cognitive health, but there's a lot of study being done on all of those things right now, but definitely the tummy and the preserving of the food is a given. There are, you know, valid reasons for doing fermentation. So, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you, and hope you like this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.